Welcome to week number 4 of the 2023 Madden NFL season. Crazy rare week 4 already. It just seems like we started the season yesterday. Here are the standings heading into week number 4. And again, you can pause and take a look at these if you like. And there's a look at the matchups for week number 4. All 32 teams will be playing, and we do have a London game today, and that will be the Falcons and the Jags. So without further ado, let's get week 4 underway. Kicking off week number 4 will be a Thursday night matchup, as you will see the 1-2 Detroit Lions taking on the 3-0 Green Bay Packers. And it's the Packers that will get a dominating 49-10 win over their division rivals, the Detroit Lions. The Packers will remain undefeated. They will improve to 4-0, and the Lions will drop to 1-3. Up next will be our first international game of the season. It will be the 1-2 Atlanta Falcons taking on the 1-2 Jacksonville Jaguars, and this game will be taking place in London. While the Falcons needed a field goal to tie the game, but instead they try to go for a touchdown to try to win the game, but they don't get it. So the Jaguars are going to get a 38-35 win. So the Jags, after starting the season 0-2, is going to improve to 2-2. And by the way, great game for Calvin Ridley in his revenge game. So great win for the Jags. They move to 2-2, and for the Falcons, they're going to drop to 1-3 after they had a shot to tie the game or win the game with a touchdown. But Falcons, they're going to drop to 1-3. Now it's on to the 1 o'clock window. As the first matchup in the 1 o'clock window, you will see the Los Angeles Rams taking on my Indianapolis Colts, who it looks like will be without Anthony Richardson for the second week in a row. And the Rams will get the win. They win 32-29 over the Colts. So the Rams get a much-needed win. They will improve to 2-2. And for the Colts, unfortunately, after starting the season 0-2, now they drop to 500 as they will drop to 2-2. That stinks. Next up, got an interesting matchup. Lamar Jackson versus Deshaun Watson. Who's going to take it? Will it be Lamar and the Ravens, or will it be Deshaun and the Browns? And it will be Lamar Jackson who takes part 1 of this series. The Ravens will win 28-14 over the Browns. So the Ravens will remain perfect. They'll go to 4-0 now. The Browns, they're going to drop to 1-3. And it looked like today that without Nick Chubb, their offense might be in huge trouble. Next up, we'll have another game that will have a revenge game. Calvin Ridley had a revenge game against the Falcons. Matt Gay had one against the Rams. Odell Beckham had one against the Browns. And now we'll see Adam Thielen and his Panthers go up against the Minnesota Vikings. Well, the Adam Thielen revenge game did not go his way, as the Vikings will get the win. They win 28-14. So the Vikings will move on to 2-2, and the Panthers, they're another team that started 2-0, and now they're going to be 2-2. Next up, we'll see the Cincinnati Bengals, who will have Joe Burrow back today, taking on a Tennessee Titans team that's looking for its first win of 2023. How about this? Not only did the Titans pull the upset, they destroyed the Bengals. Titans win 38-13. Congrats to the Tennessee Titans. They get their first win of 2023. And the Bengals, they're going to drop to 2-2. Up next, not only do we have an NFC South matchup, but we have two teams that are trying to end a losing streak. As we'll see the Bucs that are looking for their first win of the season, taking on the Saints that are trying to end a 2-game losing streak after starting 1-0. Saints, after being down 27-13, they get a huge comeback and they win 34-30 over the Bucs. What a game this was. The Saints, they end a 2-game losing streak and they go to 2-2. And for the Bucs, they were so close to getting their first win of the season. Heartbreaker for them, but unfortunately for them, it's going to have to wait another week, as now Tampa drops to 0-4. Next up is what should be a great game here. A lot at stakes. We got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. In this game, potentially a battle for first place in the AFC East. Who's going to take it? And it's the Dolphins that's going to go on the road and beat the Bills big. They win 27-9. The Bills are going to drop to 2-2. The Dolphins are going to improve to 3-1. And they have a chance to move to first in the AFC East, depending on how the Patriots and Jets do in their games. Next up, the Toilet Bowl. Our next matchup will feature the Denver Broncos taking on the Chicago Bears. Well, if you're a Bears fan, at least you got something to be happy about. because Bears get the win, and they're 2-2. If you're a Broncos fan, well, I don't think you should look at this because this game, I kid you not, was almost exactly just like the Dolphins-Broncos game from Week 3 this past Sunday. I kid you not that it was like 35-14 at halftime, just like in real life. Man, it's got to be rough if you're a Broncos fan. But if you're a Bears fan, hey, like I said, at least you got my Madden season. You guys are 2-2, and you guys got the W, so good job for the Bears. Like, look at that. You do the math. 35-14 at halftime. Almost similar to when they played the Dolphins in real life. Crazy. Up next, we'll see what looks to be the battle of first place in the NFC East. As you will see, the 2-1 Commanders taking on the 3-0 Eagles. And the Commanders have upset the Philadelphia Eagles. Commanders win 34-31 over the Eagles. What a game this was. The Commanders, just like in real life, they end the Eagles' undefeated streak. As the Commanders, they will improve now to 3-1, and the Eagles will drop to 3-1. And now it looks like the Commanders, they could be first in the NFC East, depending on how the Cowboys do in their game against the Patriots. Up next, we'll see the Houston Texans. They're still looking for their first win of 2023, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're still trying to remain unbeaten in 2023. Here's a surprise. The 0-3 Texans destroys the 3-0 Steelers. Texans win 45-24. I thought they were going to put up 50 for a second, but they don't do it. So the Texans, congratulations to them. They get their first win of the season. And for the Steelers, unfortunately for them, they get their first loss of the season. All right, so the Texans got their first win of the season. Can the Raiders do the same thing? If they want to do it, though, they got to get by the Chargers as we officially hit the 4 o'clock window. Yes, they can, as the Raiders get a 31-14 win over the Chargers. So the Raiders, congrats to them. They get their first win of the season, and the Chargers are going to drop to 2-1. And if you want more pain for the Bucs, well, now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are officially the only team to yet win a game in 2023. Up next, we'll see two teams that need to win bad and a team that cannot afford a loss, as we'll see the Arizona Cardinals take on the San Francisco 49ers. We're starting to get a lot of upsets because now we have another one. The Arizona Cardinals go into Levi Stadium and beat the 49ers 26-24. So the Cardinals, 2 weeks in a row, they got impressive wins. They'll go to 2-2 of the season, and for the 49ers, I don't know what's going on with them, but they better figure it out because now they're 1-3. Up next is our final matchup in the 4 o'clock window and another revenge game. This time, Ezekiel Elliott revenge game as the Patriots will take on the Cowboys. What a game this was, but the Cowboys got a touchdown at the end to get the win, and the Cowboys get the win 35-32. So the Cowboys, they snap a 2-game losing streak as now they'll improve to 2-2, and the Patriots, they'll drop to 2-2. On to our Sunday Night Football game, as this should be an interesting one here. We got the 3-0 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 2-1 New York Jets. Well, the Jets, they needed a touchdown to tie the game, and they don't get it. So the Chiefs, they get the win. They win 20-13. So the Chiefs, they remain perfect. They're 4-0 now in the season, and the Jets, they're going to drop the 2-2 of the season. In our final matchup, week number 4, Monday Night Football game, only one this week, as we'll see the 1-2 Seahawks take on the 2-1 Giants. Well, the Giants needed a field goal to tie the game or a touchdown to win the game, but they don't get neither one. So the Seahawks, they win 23-20 over the Giants. So the Seahawks will improve to 2-2, and the Giants, they're going to drop to 2-2. And that's going to do it for week 4. Congratulations to every team that won this week. Here's a look at the updated standings after week number 4. Heading into week number 5, there are only 3 teams that are left undefeated, and there is still only one team that is still looking for their first win of the season, and that one team is the Tampa Bay Bucs. And there's a look at the schedule for next week. Got another London game, which will be the Jags and the Bills. Got a couple good games, and then we got a few teams on a bye week. And that's going to do it. This has been your boy, Robert Magic, and I'll see you all next week for week number 5. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.